Hey guys, what's going on? Master Chim here, and just wanted to shoot another video. This isn't going to be very long, or at least I hope it isn't, but it's going to sort of be the first time I'm making a video in this format. This format and this type of video is called the Aries Mode Assessment. Now, a lot of you guys have already seen the Aries video, right? The Aries model of behavior, and everybody, for the most part, just to bring everybody up to speed. And please excuse my lack of technological savvy here. But ARIES, for the most part, is an acronym for a behavior that's designed for conflict avoidance, right? And the ARIES acronym spells out or represents aware, respect, engaged, and shrewd. I'm not going to go over everything again right now, but I just wanted to bring everybody back up to speed. Now, what I'm going to be doing in these mode assessments is I'm going to be taking random videos from the internet, a lot of them, from YouTube. I have had a couple of people really inspire me to do these by sending me a bunch of videos, asking my opinion on things, which is really cool to be asked for that. I love doing it, and I figured, you know what, with the software I have on my computer, I think I could figure out how to make a cool video doing it. Okay, so let's get to the video. Now, I will warn you, this video is graphic. In a sense, it doesn't show the actual violence or the actual graphic act that is represented in the video. And that's because I believe somebody from YouTube got this from Court TV. You could see the watermark down right over here. And so let's play the video. I'm going to play it without sound. All right, you have a gentleman walking down, obviously taken from a security camera. Here we go, West Side Story all over again. There's a bump, puts down his drink, turns around, says something to this gentleman. This gentleman comes back, says something to him, punches him, and gets absolutely blasted for it. Face down on the pavement. Okay, let's watch that again. Gentleman walks down. A couple of guys turn the corner. They're walking up. Contact here. He's waiting for the contact, obviously, puts down his drink, says something to this guy who was with a crew of people. His answer is to punch him in the face. Yeah, good going there, buddy. Sits there and watches the guy pull out a gun. Shrugs his shoulders together. Let's rewind that one little part there. Hits him. Alright, he reaches for a gun. And if you could see, this gentleman right here assumes a position that he learned at some point in his life is designed to deflect bullets, and winds up face down on the pavement. Now, I'm going to play it with the sound. We happen to be lucky enough to have a narration here, so you might as well use it. So here we go.
Rodriguez is minding his own business when he finds himself approaching members of the notorious 18th Street Gang. When gang member Juan Alcarez bumps Rodriguez as they pass, he takes offense. Alcarez spits in his face. Rodriguez throws a punch. And then, the unthinkable.
The kid pulled a gun out of his pocket, cocked it,
and blasted him. I think we see the rest. Okay, so I'm going to mute this again. We're going to go back to the beginning. Now, very quickly, let's go over. We have ARIES again. Okay, so we have aware. Now, what factors are present in your current surroundings? Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the video, and we have the gentleman walking. Mistake number one, right there. It was found out that this was a beer. So this guy's hanging out, walking down the block by himself, probably feeling a little braver than he should be. Obviously, in hindsight, but probably was out of character. His awareness was certainly skewed. His machismo was at an all-time high. Right? We, we there's a joke we have. We call it the in the Bronx here, and I'll get some flack for this, but who cares? We call the beer the Mexican steroids, right? Because Mexican guys are tough. Some of my fighters in my school are Mexican. They're tough to begin with, but after a couple of beers, they're damn near invincible, right? So here we go. Gentleman's walking down, and boom. Okay, awareness. Now, it does not take an expert in street violence to see that you're looking at a bunch of jackals here. Okay, these guys are predators. They are as arrogant and as alpha as it gets. Not to get into too many sort of group dynamic details here, but whenever you see a crowd of guys like this, and you see this gentleman's walking, off the sidewalk, more towards the street. It turns out, obviously, the narrator says that they're part of a gang in L.A. I just want to point something out right here. Let's back up just a little bit. We have this gentleman right here. Okay, they all turn the corner together. Talk about awareness. Here's a guy with a cane right here. He's not walking with any pronounced limp or anything, but has a long metallic object in his hand. Okay, there's more than one of them. This guy is equipped with a beer can. Okay, awareness. Now we have this gentleman in the street here, and we have 1, 2, 3 gentlemen walking down the street. Now, if you see right here at the end of the sidewalk, we have him. Right next to him, we have this guy. Then we have this guy who eventually the confrontation begins with. And we have this little bit of space. Okay? Now, you're talking about awareness. This is where he needs to go. All right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, this guy with a cane, not knowing if any of these guys have weapons. He doesn't have a weapon, obviously. I'm sure he would have drew it at some point. So he's unarmed. 4 guys, one of them has a cane. They're walking like they're ready to take something down. They're on the hunt, right? And what does he decide to do? He decides to get brave, all right? So we go back to Aries now. Respect the danger potential of those factors, both direct and indirect. Now, that right there could not have been not followed any better, right? He has zero respect for the danger potential of his situation. All right, even if it's a 4-on-1 fight and there are no weapons involved, these 4 guys will stomp his head into the concrete, and he's not going to do a damn thing about it. I'm throwing a beer, and it makes it even worse. All right. Now you throw in the fact that you see a visual object that wasn't picked up. This gentleman has a cane. He wasn't aware enough to see that. There is zero respect for the danger potential of his surroundings. All right. Now, obviously, hindsight's 20/20, and we know the outcome of this whole thing. But if we sort of reverse engineer what he could have done differently, all right. Now, me personally, it's funny. I had a student in my office, and I was showing him this video earlier, and shout out to AJ, and and he was saying, you know what, it's funny, but if I would have felt that if I had asked you, Master Chim, what you would have done in that situation, I would definitely bet that you would have said that you would have taken them all on. And it's informative. I told him then, and I'll let everyone know now, that is about the dumbest thing that anybody could do in this situation. Here I am, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, former pro MMA fighter, have certainly my share of experience fighting on the street. I see a situation like this. What I'm going to do is, number one, I'm going to assume a very, very passive posture. I'm not going to make eye contact. I'm going to go against the wall. Maybe I'm going to pretend I'm going to tie my shoe. Maybe I'm going to pretend that I left my wallet somewhere and I'm looking bewildered. Anything to sort of not agitate their very alpha state right now. Now, I think a common problem or mistake that would be made here is, as this gentleman's walking down the street, he sees these guys. Maybe he doesn't bump them, but he sort of sticks out his chest and starts acting, like he's an alpha. He starts acting like, I'm not anybody that's going to be picked on. Well, knowing that, this guy has a cane, there's four of them. This guy probably knows that these guys are gang members. Knowing all of these things, it doesn't matter who you are. Even if he had a gun, even if he had a firearm, engaging these people is just stupid. Okay? There is no excuse for trying to engage them. And assuming a passive posture makes this entire confrontation last about 5 seconds, and it's just a group of guys passing another guy, and nothing more comes of it. All right? Now, the guy chooses, obviously, to go a different way. All right? Let's go back to Aries for a second. Engaged. Stay engaged. Actively scan and maintain your presence. All right? We're going to go forward a little bit more. Boom. Now you see he's ready to put down his beer before or right as he's getting bumped. Now, I'm not going to put myself in this guy's head and try and figure out what exactly he was thinking, but he certainly welcomed the confrontation. If you see, when he bumped him, these two gentlemen have already walked past. Right? This gentleman's not even in the shot anymore, the guy with the cane. They weren't there to take him on. This guy attracted this entire situation. Right? Now, did he deserve it? Obviously not. But when you look at exactly what transpired and how it could have been avoided, it's a shame that, this guy didn't have the benefit of watching one of my videos before. All right? So, staying engaged. He's not staying engaged. Here he is. He bumps this guy. He turns away. He puts the beer down. Let's go a little bit further. And he's talking to him now. All right. Now, let's go down. Back 1 second. Alright. A couple seconds at least. Alright. So they're walking. Boom. And pause. This gentleman just comes into the frame. Now these are a group of guys that came around from that corner. As soon as they bump him, right, you see right here, this guy's not worried about him. Right? Something was said that causes them eventually to turn around. But by him putting his beer down and focusing his attention here, he doesn't even notice another gentleman here. Now, obviously, it wound up being a moot point because of what transpired, but when you're talking about being engaged and actively scanning and being aware of your environment, here's another mistake. Okay, he's focusing on him. He's not paying attention to anything that's coming from the direction that these gentlemen just came from. All right, boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Now, the narrator obviously says that this gentleman spat on the eventual victim, and the victim responded by punching him right in the face. Now, I don't know what he thought his punch in the face was going to do. All right, now remember, he was drinking. I don't know if he was drunk. This looks like a drunk decision, and the end result of being drunk in public in a gang-infested neighborhood, But he punches him. The guy still obviously has like a toothpick in his mouth or something. He didn't even knock the damn toothpick out of the guy's face. This girl knows is about to go down. She's getting out of here. These people, or this woman, is starting to create some space. And this gentleman now is as cool as a cucumber. Why? Because he knows exactly what's about to go down. All right? So our eventual victim punches him, and what he wound up doing was signing his own death warrant. All right? Now, going back to Aries, shrewd. Be shrewd and choose an efficient avoidance of conflict. I got news for you. Now, I don't know who this gentleman is, but just speaking of probability, I would probably beat the living piss out of him. All of that being said, I get bumped by this guy, we turn around, and even if he's talking to me, my hands are up and I'm going to look like the biggest coward in the world. Why? Because I know the odds are too far stacked against me for me to somehow strategically navigate a conflict, right? A violent conflict. Okay, it is unnecessary. All right, when we talk about studying violence, it's not about how do we get ourselves to the point where we could beat the piss out of anybody, or we could always come out in the winning end of these fatal confrontations. Okay, it's about studying it, understanding the signs, understanding how to manipulate the variables so that we stay in one piece. Okay, obviously, the eventual victim has gone through a whole just slew of mistakes up until this point. And being shrewd was certainly not something he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to be clever. He wasn't trying to, no. He was chest out, fists balled up, and he's ready to go. The problem is it's not a one-on-one fight. This isn't a sixth grade schoolyard. You know, there is nobody there to make sure that it's just you and him. You're on a street. There's multiple members. One of them had a cane that you already saw. You're by yourself. You have a beer on you. You don't even have any weapons. And obviously what winds up happening is he allows this talking game to go on. This gentleman's backing up. As he's backing up, obviously we know what he has in his mind, but he's made no commitment to do anything. So when we go back to my first video, when you talk about the street code and the code of conduct, when you're choosing options, you have to commit fully, right? You have to commit with deliberate action. And first, this gentleman wanted to pick a fight. He winds up punching him, and now he goes back into a talking phase, right? Obviously, the inconsistency, there's really no model of handling a confrontation that allows for that type of commitment inconsistency that's based in success. If you're going to go big, you better get ready to go big. If you're not going to go big 100% of the time with full commitment, then go small and get the hell out of there, right? And winding up here, we have boom, boom, boom. And that's what he gets for not being in the Aries mode as he's walking down the block. Now, obviously, guys, following this code of conduct, nobody's going to become invincible. Nobody's going to become the master of the streets. I myself have been on both ends of the fence when it comes to street violence and street conflict. But I do know that, number one, I'm pretty fortunate to never have been injured seriously, and number two, I do have a great degree of experience that becomes helpful to share with people like you, viewers like you. Okay, so I truly thank you all for watching the video. I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to be making a lot of these. It's pretty painless. I don't obviously have the big production value for these videos. I'm sure it'll get better over time. But I hope you found my assessment helpful, beneficial, and stay tuned for future videos. All right, guys. Again, whenever you can, please send your friends to studyviolence.com. I look forward to sharing the videos with them and the videos that I'm going to be making in the future. All right, guys. Well, take care, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.